You tell him, Lincoln. You tell him. Hey everyone, Henry Yellow here. Welcome back. Right now we are going to watch Young Mr. Lincoln from 1939, directed by John Ford. Henry Fonda plays Abraham Lincoln in this movie, and I just checked before I started recording. I wanted to know whether this movie was based on a true story of Abraham Lincoln. The answer is no. This is a fictional story that tells of Lincoln's early life when he was a lawyer. Good to know, otherwise, I would have assumed that it was a true story of Abraham Lincoln. If you'd love to see my full reaction to this movie, go ahead and check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below. And if you'd love to see me react to more of these types of classics, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you'll be notified whenever a new reaction comes out. Now let's watch Young Mr. Lincoln. If Nancy Hanks came back as a ghost seeking news of what she loved most, she'd ask first, "Where's my son? What's happened to Abe? What's he done?" New Salem, Illinois, 1832. Hard to believe 1832 was almost 200 years ago.
That great volcano at Washington is belching forth a lava of political corruption which is sweeping over the length and breadth of this land. Send me, John T. Stewart, back to the legislature, and I'll see that every Jackson man in office is whipped out of the place, like a dog out of a meat house.
I presume you all know who I am. I'm plain Abraham Lincoln. My politics are short and sweet, like the old woman's dance. If elected, I shall be thankful. If not, be all the same.
I first saw Henry Fonda in 12 Angry Men. Seeing him here right now, he looks so young.
My old woman figured on getting some flannel for shirts.
I reckon that could be arranged.
Yeah, but we ain't got any money.
The whole shebang here's worked on credit.
That's right, Abe.
Barry and me never put up a penny to start with.
Well, there's an old barrel in the wagon that might be worth 50 cents to some folks.
Blackstone's Commentaries. That's law.
Lord, I knew that book was about something.
Hardly a thumb mark on it either. I expect I could make head or tails out of it if I set my mind to it.
At the time, there were still plenty of people who were illiterate, right?
Law. That's the rights of persons and the rights of things. The rights of life, reputation, and liberty.
A law book is a very dry book. People don't usually read it just for fun.
Hello, Mr. Lincoln.
Hello, Ann. River's sure pretty today, ain't it?
Father says you've a real head on your shoulders. And a way with people, too. They remember what you say because it's got sense to it.
I never went to school as much as a year in my whole life.
But you've educated yourself. You've read poetry and Shakespeare and now law.
You're mighty pretty, Ann.
Some folks I know don't like red hair.
I love red hair.
No way, Anne died? What happened?
Well, Ann, I'm still up a tree. Just can't seem to make up my mind what to do. Of course, I know what you'd say. Go on, Abe. Make something of yourself. You got friends, show 'em what you got in you. I'll let the stick decide. Falls back toward me, then I stay here as I always have. Falls forward toward you, well, it's the law. Here goes, Ann.
It's the law.
Well, Ann, you win. It's the law.
Hello, Abe. What are you doing in Springfield?
Set myself up as a lawyer.
What do you know about law, Abe?
Not enough to hurt me.
1837.
You lie. I can prove it. I tell you, I can prove it. Go ahead and prove it. I got the law on my side.
The Hawthorne here says you agreed to furnish him 2 yokes of oxen to break up 20 acres of prairie side ground.
But he never done one thing he promised. Not one.
You did strike, beat, and knock him down. With violence did push, thrust, and gouge your fingers in his eyes.
Yeah, I got witnesses to prove it.
He demands $250 damages.
Forgot to put in there about me whopping him with a neck yoke.
You owe Brother Woolridge $55.47, $90 for use of a team and wagon for 8 months, besides $100 cash on a loan.
Yeah.
$245.47. My idea is to split the difference of $4.53, which by a strange coincidence happens to be exactly the amount of my legal fee.
Really?
Won't do it. Me either.
Did you ever hear about the time in the Black Hawk War when I butted two fellas' heads together and busted both of them?
I'm willing if he is.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Oh, the Statue of Liberty.
1776. Them's the veterans of the Revolution.
Pie judging contest.
First I thought it was that apple for sure. Then I sank my teeth into that peach and I just couldn't seem to make up my mind.
What is it?
It's a pie judging contest, Mom. Look, he's sure hungry.
First one, then the other.
Just finish the whole pie before you make a decision then. Rail splitting. There we go. It split. Tug of war.
Ready! Get set!
Lincoln is still eating that pie. Wait, he's the sheriff.
Leave my wife alone.
Who, me? What are you gonna use on me? Knives or pistols or your fists?
We ain't bothering nobody.
We got plenty of time later. Bye, honey. See you later.
Wait, what is that? At first I thought it was sand. Okay, that's cheating. Oh, it is water.
Adam, you got to promise me something. You got to promise me we'll come to town every single year we're living. Oh, Adam, you got to promise me.
All right, Carrie Sue, I promise.
I wished we was married right now.
I've been meaning to talk to your family about us as soon as we get home.
Oh, Adam. Adam, they're fighting. And then he came back. He's drunk. Over beyond in that clearing.
That's it! Come on! Man! Roll right on top of him! Stay in the cleats, I tell you! Look out, he's got a rock!
Oh, that's foul.
Come on now! And he got a gun!
Oh no.
Mom!
Oh, I thought he shot his ma.
Cass! Scrub!
Oh,
He's dead.
because he used a knife.
Cut right in the heart with his knife. Come over here, somebody! There's been a murder! Murder! Look! Nice cut right through the heart. How'd it happen? It was them two fellas over there. They was fighting with Scrub. It was a knife they done it with. Which one of you cut him?
I did. That ain't so. I did it.
I tell you, it was me. He came after me with a gun.
One of you lying. Now, which one is it? Anybody see it?
I reckon I did.
Well, which one was it?
I ain't saying.
Matt, Adam, you did.
Then he shouldn't have said anything in the first place. I'll consider it self-defense.
Stab him right in the back, too.
This place, stop him!
They're gonna lynch him, Abe. They're gonna lynch him.
Yep, sounds like they're gonna lynch him. See, that's the problem. That person named Cass. He wants to get drunk and cause trouble, get himself killed, and then get 2 others lynched. And the people have gone mad.
By Jing, I said, listen to me. By Jing, you will. All I got to say is I can lick any man here, hands down. I thought I'd find that big mouth of yours around here telling people what to do. Come on up and whet your horns.
The biggest mouth.
Well, you all know I'm just a fresh lawyer trying to get ahead. But some of you boys act like you want to do me out of my first clients. All I'm asking is to have it done with some legal pomp and show.
We've gone to a heap of trouble not to have at least one hanging.
Sure you have, Mac. And if these boys had more than one life, I'd say go ahead. When men start taking the law into their own hands, just zapped in all the confusion and fun to start hanging somebody who's not a murderer, somebody who is. We seem to lose our heads in times like this. We do things together that we'd be mighty ashamed to do by ourselves.
Facts. That's correct.
Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Why don't you put it down for a spell, boys? Ain't it getting heavy?
You tell him, Lincoln. You tell him. Thankfully, he's a part of the town. Otherwise, they wouldn't even have given him a chance to speak. Only one of their own could have calmed them down.
You won't let nothing happen to Adam and Nat.
Don't you worry about a thing. I'll keep my eye on them, all right?
I ain't one to talk much, but after what you've done for us,
No. Save your thanks. You know, I'm just a sort of jackleg lawyer. But as long as you want me, I'll do the best I can.
I say it was self-defense. He had a gun. They had to defend themselves. He trims his own hair.
In the part of the South I come from, it's customary for a gentleman to ask a visiting lady to dance.
I'd like to dance with you the worst way, man, but all the dancing I've ever done was behind a plow.
And I shall be very glad to dance this dance with you.
Well, he does know how to dance.
You said you wanted to dance with me the worst way, and I must say you've kept your word. This is the worst way I've ever seen.
And I warned you, man.
Really, to me, he seemed fine. At the very least, he didn't bump into anyone. I'm sure the view reminds him of Anne.
Abe, you sure love that river, don't you? Folks would think it was a pretty woman or something, the way you carry on.
Yep, he does see a pretty woman whenever he looks at that river.
What's that tune you're playing?
Don't know. Catchy, though.
I can't tell if the crops are thriving or dying.
This house certainly takes me back to the time when I was just a little old shirt-tail boy in Kentucky. And you folks just like my folks. I said that to myself the minute I laid eyes on you. Well, finished reading your letters yet?
I never learned to read yet. I thought maybe you'd read it to me.
Why, certainly, I'll be glad to. I and Matt are well and hoping these few lines may find you all enjoying the same blessings. Oh, me, wouldn't a squirrel stew taste good? My pen is bad, my ink is pale, my love for you will never fail. Adam.
That's nice.
Sarah, do you suppose you've got an extra piece of paper in the house?
We ain't got any paper that I know of, but we got a new almanac. Reckon you could write on it?
An almanac? Why, yes, it's just the thing. Your husband, he died?
He was killed by a drunk Indian.
A drunk again.
Mrs. Clay, which one of your boys killed Scrub White?
I can't tell you. I just can't. Be just like choosing between them.
What do you suppose made them both say they'd done it?
Matt did because he's older And Adam said so because Matt has a wife and baby.
A pack of witnesses, a lot of mighty fine lawyers on the other side.
They don't have any witnesses. Of course, the town doesn't want to hear their side of the story. They don't care if the drunk guy attacked first or tried to shoot them. All they know is that they killed one of their own.
Take off your hat! Put them jugs away.
May it please the court, the state of Illinois is ready.
Then go ahead, gentlemen, and pick yourselves a jury.
Clarence, how you stand on capital punishment?
You mean, do I want to see them two fellas hung? I do.
You're excused.
Get going, Clarence.
Yeah, he's already biased.
You've never discussed this case.
No, sir, I never did.
How long you been a barber in this town?
Oh, about 18 years going on.
And you never heard it mentioned?
No, sir, not that I remember.
Then you're excused.
Your Honor, this is a waste of time.
It's very hard to pick a jury when all of the people are from this town and all of them want to see the boys hung.
Sam Boone! Sam Boone!
Guilty.
No, Sam, sit down.
He already said guilty.
You drink liquor, Sam?
Yep.
Cuss? Enjoy hangings? Ever tell a lie? Well, you're just the kind of honest man we want on this jury.
Gentlemen of the jury, thou shalt not kill.
I bet if Cass had shot the two guys, nothing would have happened, right?
But Matt and Adam Clay did not heed that command. They killed Scrub White.
In self-defense.
2 against 1, and that one a peace-loving servant of the law.
Scrub was doing some mighty fancy fighting.
True, for Scrub White was a man, an American. Scrub White loved life. There sit his murderers. They must be wiped out as a man wipeth a plate.
Oh, the judge brought his gun out.
I shall prove that by their own confession, the defendants did stab unto death the deceased. I expect you, as 12 loyal, red-blooded citizens, to find Adam and Matt Clay guilty of murder.
You saw him tell the truth, hold that true gun.
That's the knife they killed Scrub White with.
Did you see him do it with a knife?
No, but I...
I just wanted to get you back in your groove. Go ahead.
Did the boys deny they'd been drinking on the night of the crime?
No, sir. They said they'd had a snort or two, as usual.
As usual.
Did Scrub White have a pistol?
He was a deputy. He had to have one.
Did you ever hear about the fix the man was in when he was coming down the road with a pitchfork on his shoulder and farmer's dog ran out and bit him on the leg? He stuck one of the prongs of the pitchfork into the dog and killed him. "What made you kill my dog?" he said. "What made your dog bite me? Why didn't you go at him with the other end? Why didn't your dog come at me with the other end?"
Yeah, he makes a good point, you know.
Wouldn't you say it was a matter of self-defense to use that blade so long as Scrub didn't come at him with the other end of the pistol?
I object and move that these remarks be stricken from the record. But you didn't see a shot fired, did you?
No, sir.
Then
You heard it.
I heard something sounded like a shot.
But did you see them stab Cass? Did you? Did you hear them stab Cass?
What's your name? J. Palmer Cass. I was with them all day near Boss.
tell me, Mr. Cass, just what did you and Mr. White do that day?
Making trouble?
We went on down to the tug of war, and there they were. First thing I knew, they was both cussing Scrub out and wanting to fight him.
Why, tain't so.
It's a lie, sure enough.
And that night, Mr. Cass, just before the killing, tell the jury what happened then.
Scrub and me had a little argument, and he went off by himself. I run down there as fast as I could, but by the time I got there, Scrub was laying on the ground,
And where was Mr. White's pistol?
was in his holster.
It went off then while he was trying to get it out of his holster.
Well, his memories are wrong.
You say your name's J. Palmer Cass. What's the J stand for?
John?
Anybody ever call you Jack?
Yes.
Why J. Palmer Cass? Why not John P. Cass? Well, if it's all the same to you, I'll just call you Jack Cass.
Okay.
Mr. Lincoln's clownishness may win him a laugh from his friends. His entire game of buffoonery is lost on this intelligent jury.
You say you and Scrub White had a little argument.
Yeah.
Jackass.
I just got it. What kind of an argument?
We was arguing about politics.
The state desires at this time to call upon an eyewitness to the killing of Scrub White, Mrs. Abigail Clay. I am prepared to offer you the life of one of your sons. Tell us which one of your boys stabbed and killed Scrub White. I can't. Don't you know that under the law they are equally guilty of murder? That under the law they may both be hanged for it? But I can't tell you. And you can't make me. Don't you know that you can be sent to jail yourself? You are deliberately sending both boys to the gallows?
Your Honor, I protest against the prosecution's attempt to force this woman to decide which of her two sons shall live and which shall die. In her eyes, these boys hold an equal place. I know her because I've seen hundreds of women just like her. Women who say little but do much, who ask for nothing and give all. I'd rather, Mrs. Clay, see you lose both your boys than to see you break your heart trying to save one at the expense of the other.
Recall Palmer Cass to the stand. Where were you when Scrub White was killed?
About 100 yards away, I reckon.
And you saw the killing with your own eyes?
Yes, sir.
He did not.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
Because he's lying.
Nobody asked me. I just didn't want to help get nobody hung, that's all.
Why do you tell us now?
I just begin to realize that if I don't tell, maybe both of them will get hung.
How could you see so clearly from a distance of 100 yards at 11 o'clock at night?
It was moon bright.
Which defendant stabbed and killed Scrub White?
It was the bigger of the two.
They so. This court is adjourned tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
That Jack Palmer Cass is just lying through his teeth.
Lincoln, this is against all my principles. But I want to talk to you as an older man. At least change your plea. Accept sentence for your guilty client, and I'll guarantee the state will be lenient with the other.
Mighty tempting, but I'm afraid it can't be done.
You'll send both defendants to the gallows, as surely as the moon sets.
Maybe.
The odds are against him because they've got eyewitnesses who are willing to lie.
The defense wishes at this time to cross-examine the last witness for the state.
Palmer Cass.
Why are they drinking in court?
You say you were about 100 yards from the scene of the fight? I suppose the clearing was all lit up by lights from the tar barrels.
No, sir. I told you it was moon bright, Mr. Lincoln.
Moon bright.
Yes, sir.
The only reason you're telling us this now is because you feel sorry for one of the defendants.
Well, I didn't want to see them both get hung.
Oh, Mr. Cass, what'd you have against Scrub White?
Well, nothing.
What'd you kill him for, then? It's the Farmer's Almanac. Go ahead, look at it. Look at page 12. The moon was only in its first quarter that night. So, you see, it couldn't have been moon bright, could it? You lied, didn't you, Cass? You were trying to save your own, weren't you? You lied because you had a fight with Scrub White. But it wasn't about politics.
No.
Something made you want to get rid of Scrub.
Well, you're crazy. Scrub was my friend.
Maybe. Just the same you lied. You heard a row. And you saw the fight start. And you come running. You bent over him and you picked up the knife. And you stabbed him.
No, I didn't.
You stabbed him in the back and killed him. They each knew that he didn't do it. Therefore, each thought the other did it. Answer me. You did kill him, didn't you? Didn't you?
I didn't mean to kill him. I was drunk. I was thinking all day.
No more questions, Your Honor.
How did he figure that out? I thought that Cass just lied. That's all. But I didn't expect him to kill Scrub White.
Hurry up, Abe. The crowd's waiting.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Lincoln.
Bye.
We ain't got very much, but after all you've done for us,
Thank you, ma'am. That's mighty generous of you.
I reckon I'd just about die if I didn't kiss you, Mr. Lincoln.
He saved both their lives. It's a nice little movie about Abraham Lincoln, even though it was fictional, of course. But I think even if they hadn't used Abraham Lincoln as the main character, it would have worked anyway. I did not expect the twist at the end when they revealed that Palmer Cass was the murderer. Like, that was not even something I considered. By the way, I think I mentioned the wrong name a couple of times during the movie. I thought the one who died was Cass, but apparently the one who died was Scrub White. So I think I confused the names during the movie. I knew, and we all knew, that Cass lied, but we didn't know why he lied. When he said stuff like, oh, I was 100 yards away, it was moon bright, and I saw who stabbed him with a knife, I know it was all a lie. But I never really thought deeper into it as to why he lied. I just assumed that he wanted to see the boys hang. But then again, if he wanted to see them hang, he would have wanted both of them to hang. Isn't that right? Just like all the townspeople wanted both of them to hang, no matter who was guilty. So yeah, that was a suspicious point that if you don't really think about it, you wouldn't suspect anything. It did cross my mind that when Cass mentioned that it was moon bright, that could have been easily disproved if they had taken note of the moon's different phases. But then I thought, wait, this was back in 1837, so maybe the moon's like crescent phase, full moon phase was not very well known, so maybe nobody could disprove it. But thankfully, the Farmer's Almanac had that information. Abraham Lincoln in this movie was very good with his words, and I'm impressed that he was able to calm down the townspeople who were having their judgment clouded, and they were seeing red and they were going mad, being influenced by the mob around them. I think Lincoln did a good job calming them down and making them see the error that they were going to make. Even a good person who doesn't normally mean any harm could be swayed by a mob, and that's a dangerous thing. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that before in another movie. I think Henry Fonda was also in that movie. Wait, what movie was that again? Oh, yeah, sorry, it was not Henry Fonda. It was Spencer Tracy who was in that movie, Fury. Every time I see a movie that talks about lynching, I'm always reminded of Fury. I don't always remember the movie name, but I remember the movie itself. Lincoln also gave some good examples during the movie, such as the dog and a pitchfork, and stories like that, or analogies like that. Are they called analogies? I don't know. But stories like that are usually very effective in getting the message across and getting the point across. It's too bad that usually these kind of things are not properly taken into account in a court. I think Lincoln was a genius to be able to figure out that Palmer Cass was the murderer, and then pressuring him enough to plead guilty, to admit that he did it. Overall, I think the movie was okay. I think it would have worked even without using Abraham Lincoln's name for the movie, but maybe using his name attracts more attention for people to watch the movie. The timeline was fairly accurate though. According to an article over here, Abraham Lincoln said that he had studied the law and removed to Springfield to practice it. While running for the Illinois legislature in 1834, Lincoln met John Todd Stewart, a fellow Whig also running for office. So he was the one who loaned Lincoln some law books. Lincoln eventually got his law license in September 1836 without attending law school or passing the bar as it is known now. He was declared to have a good moral character and was examined by the Illinois Supreme Court. The court issued Lincoln a license to practice law in any state court in Illinois. He came to Springfield to work with John Stewart in April of 1837. 4 years later, he became junior partner, and by 1844, he was the senior partner. Lincoln gained respect and fame for his courtroom skills. Law offices around the town square often saw law clerks gathered around listening to Lincoln's stories. So that part was quite accurate, I suppose. Lincoln is very good at telling stories that get the point across. It was this particular skill that stood him in good stead in front of a judge. Lincoln handled disputes over property, divorces, and even murder. One case had Lincoln on the master's side in a fugitive slave case, but another had him defending a free black man from being declared a fugitive slave. Must have been a very tough case to win back then, when slavery was still very like a normal thing. Current scholarship shows that he was involved in at least 5,173 cases in his 24-year career. How much is that? Let me just calculate that with a calculator. Oh my goodness, that's 215 cases a year, which averages to about 4 cases a week. That is a lot. Yeah, he was very successful and the demand for his services are very high. To bring about the end of slavery, he made sure that the Emancipation Proclamation of 1862 contained the strongest legal text possible. He was able to convince his skeptical cabinet that it was even possible for the president to issue the document. Some argued that it did not free a single slave. But the proclamation started the legal process to fulfill his wish that all men everywhere could be free, and it became the most important document of his presidency. That concludes our short little history lesson about Abraham Lincoln's early life as a lawyer. That's pretty much all I have to say about this movie. What do you think about this movie? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching with me. Hope you enjoyed my reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.